What up, YouTube? It's T-Money. Today we're going to be doing the, I know it's the day of the Stanley Cup playoffs. First day is today, and getting this video out is really, really late, but might as well do it as I'm currently sitting here in my car. So, first matchup, I'll do West and then East. And I'm just going to do like what I did last year. No, I didn't even do this last year. So, I'm going to try to do this every year. So, what I'll do is I'll do series. I'll predict the series for the first round. And then once we get to the second round, I'll predict those series. Then once we get to the conference finals, I'll predict those. And then I'll predict the Stanley Cup champion. But in my personal opinion, being my biased opinion here, I want San Jose to go all the way and finally win their first ever Stanley Cup. They almost did it in 2016, but Pittsburgh loses to Pittsburgh in their first cup in 2 years for Pittsburgh, and then Nashville losing the following year. So now let's get down to the actual predictions. First matchup in the West, we have the Nashville Predators taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado just barely edged out St. Louis to make the playoffs, and I don't know, God knows how long. I don't have stats in front of me, so basically I'm just going off by memory here. But Nashville is the President's Trophy is the President's Trophy team this year, so they'll have the home ice advantage throughout the playoffs the entire year. Or they'll have home ice advantage throughout the playoffs, including the Stanley Cup final, unless they get beat. But Nashville, again, hot team. They're probably gonna be the dominant team. They're probably gonna be the team to beat. And I don't think Colorado's the team that's gonna do it. I don't even think Colorado's even gonna show up at the series. I have Nashville winning that game in the matter of either 4 or 5 games. So that'll move Nashville into the second round. The next Western Conference matchup I have for round 1, and for the finish off the Central, the Winnipeg Jets versus the Minnesota Wild. Minnesota, basically, this matchup was locked at the beginning of the, or a few weeks ago, basically, when Minnesota and, I'm gonna get my car started, because it's actually, no, actually, you know what? Just roll my windows down. Nope. That window. Wrong window. So, Nashville, moving on to the next round. Winnipeg and Minnesota. Minnesota is the affiliate of AHL's affiliate is Iowa, so of course I'm probably gonna pick Minnesota by biased opinion. But if I want to go by actual stats, I'm gonna pick the a lot of people have Winnipeg winning the series though. So I'm gonna go, and it's gonna go all 7 games. Don't get me wrong. This series is not a series to be skeptical about. So, I will have Minnesota going to the next round in 7 games. Okay, so I'll focus my attention to the East now. The first round in the Metropolitan, the Atlantic Division, I'm sorry. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New Jersey Devils. Now, New Jersey hasn't been in the playoffs since their cup run that a few years ago. I don't remember what the year, so don't hold me to that. So, thinking off the top of my head here. New Jersey hasn't had a good Stanley Cup run a playoff run since that cup run that they had but unfortunately losing to LA that year. So And New Jersey just barely squeaked in as well. Barely just edged out... No. Columbus barely edged out Florida. Sorry. I'm trying to think of all these off the top of my head. I would really like to roll my window down or start my car, but I'm low on gas. Anyway, prediction for that series, I'm going to go... Yeah, I'm going to go obvious choice, Tampa in 6 games. I think New Jersey does give them a good fight, but it ultimately does end up losing. So, goodbye to New Jersey. Next series is actually one that I'm kind of afraid to predict. The Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto, last time they were in the playoffs and they played Boston, that Game 7 meltdown that they had. I even watched that video of the highlights. Go check it out. Basically, just look up Toronto Maple Leaf Game 7 meltdown 2013. That's basically all you gotta look up. They were up 4-1 with under 10 minutes to go. Actually, yeah, under 10 minutes to go. Gave up 1 goal, made it 4-2. Not that bad. Under 2 minutes to go, gives up 2 goals to Boston, forces overtime, and Boston clinched the series in overtime. So, besides that, Toronto has gotten better. They made the playoffs last year, but ultimately did lose. Who did they lose to last? I think it was Pittsburgh they played last year. Yeah, I think so. They lose to Pittsburgh in 5 games. I don't think they have the manpower to win a series this year. They're getting there. But I think they have the manpower to force the team that they're playing to be tired for the next. So I'm picking Boston to win that game, that series in 7 games. Next, now to the Metropolitan. The Washington Capitals and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, I have Washington making the Cup final in my bracket challenge bracket that I made. So, ooh, that actually kind of helped. So I have Washington winning that series, obviously. But if I want to do a reality check on that, and I don't think I can, Columbus, EA Sports, and I'll see if I'll end up putting the link into the video that I'm about to mention in the description below, so you can go watch it. A YouTuber simulated the Stanley Cup playoffs 100 times, and out of all of those 100 in this first round matchup, Columbus took care of Washington in 6 games. 4-2 series win. If that's a reality check to anyone, if that's not a reality check, I don't know what is. Because I was totally confident that Washington would end up winning this series by a long shot. So, I'm still going with Washington, and I think it's going to go 6 games instead of the 5 that I normally predicted. So, Washington in 6. Last series in the East would be Pittsburgh and Philly, one of 2 state rivals that are going to be in the playoffs this year. The other one is in the West, of course, Anaheim, San Jose. I'll get to that last. Anyway, the season series did not go well for Philly, and Pittsburgh basically killed them. And, the one time that Philly had a good run was back in 2010. That was 8 years ago. And I don't think they're going to have that much luck. But I think they're going to have enough magic and enough fan base to vault the Philadelphia Flyers over the defending Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins. Yes, I am going bold on that one. Bold prediction. Now to finish off the West, Vegas versus LA. Oh my gosh, what a team that we have here in the playoffs. Vegas, their inaugural year, keeps going, and it's probably going to be a deep run into the playoffs. I don't have a bracket made for them yet, but I will have one of my brackets. I probably won't even have time to make because I have to work at 5. At the time I'm recording this video, it is 3:22, so I have to get going here soon. Vegas did handle LA in the season series. You stinking Canadian geese, that gets into my video, I'm gonna kill all y'all. Disregard that comment. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, Vegas and LA. Vegas, first year, said that already, but going up against a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Hello, what a matchup. This is going to be one of the matchups that everyone wants to watch, and as a fan of the San Jose Sharks, I'm really looking for this matchup to be a Vegas win. And it'll probably end up being Vegas that wins it. I'll have Vegas winning that in either 5 or 6 games. LA, even though they have the playoff experience, look at all the players that Vegas has, and look at the players that LA has. Young guns, except for Fleury. Old guys with experience. They're going to have they're going to have the fresher legs on the ice, of course. So, Vegas in 5 or 6. Last series in the first round. The Battle of California, possibly part 1. Anaheim will host San Jose, my Sharks. My Sharks. So, this is an even matchup if you look at the stats on NHL.com. But look at the season series, ladies and gentlemen. San Jose took that series 3-4. Wait. They won, 3-4. Yeah, they only lost 1 game. So 3 of the 4 games, San Jose won. And that one loss was in overtime or a shootout. So San Jose knows how to play against Anaheim. Don't know if, I don't even know if all their games went into overtime. I can't look at that at the moment. I don't even have another device to do that. But anyway, Anaheim is going to be missing Ryan Getzlaf, I heard, probably throughout the playoffs. I have no idea, and for injury for San Jose, Joe Thornton, I have no idea what his time frame is. He may be back for the Stanley Cup final if they can make that run, but I don't think that he's going to be back for the first round or the second round. Possibly the quarterfinals. He'll be back for the Stanley Cup final if San Jose does make it all the way. That being said, on to my final prediction of the video. As a biased fan, and probably as a normal fan, like let's say I'd be a fan of Dallas, who didn't make it, I think San Jose is going to win that series in 7 games. This series is not going to go 4 or 5. It is going to go either 6 or 7. And again, that video that I mentioned earlier in this one, the simulation of the playoffs 100 times, San Jose has won the series in either 4 or 5 games. San Jose and Anaheim did tie for Game 6, but Anaheim took Game 7 in the stats. If you guys won't understand what I'm saying because I don't have the stats in front of me, so if I remember, and if someone would comment on this video, remember to put the link to that video in the description of this video. I'm predicting, the EA predicted Anaheim, out of the 100 times in that one series, Anaheim wins in 7 games, but I'm going with San Jose in 7 games. Heck, if Anaheim doesn't even show up, that would be amazing for me. So there you go. That is my first round predictions. If you want me to do the rest, I'll actually just do it quickly here. So I had Nashville winning, and then I had... Did I even predict the Winnipeg, Minnesota? I don't even think I did. I'll pick... I'll pick Minnesota to beat Winnipeg. I don't even remember if I did or not. And so we have Nashville and Minnesota. I'm gonna just go through this quickly. I'll have Minnesota making their first conference final. I think it'd be their first conference final. And then Vegas and San Jose. That series is gonna be rough. I'm gonna have San Jose going, but Vegas did end up winning the season series. In the West, Tampa Bay taking on Boston. I'll have Tampa moving on. Washington and Philly, I believe I have. I'll have Washington moving on, so that means San Jose and Minnesota, and Tampa and Washington. San Jose to the final. Tampa to the final. San Jose wins the cup. That is my prediction for the entire playoffs, with absolutely no stats. This is just opinion-based. Well, my opinion-based. This is not correct. It will not be correct. With a little bit of bias, and I'm sorry for the bias. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. I got to get going. I got places I got to go. So until the round 1 is up, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out, guys.